Okay, so as I said in the last video, this thing has a Mickey Mouse setup for a winch. I don't know if you can see that very good. I mean, there's no fair lead on it. It's got some kind of garden gate pulley, I don't know what. Back in here is actually a factory mounting plate for a winch. So all of this cobbled together, horribly welded, whatever it is getting taken off. And I've got plans for this little winch if it can be rebuilt. Going around here, two of the electrical upgrades I put on here are remote battery terminals to jumpstart this or run something else, or if I want to run the winch for an extended period of time, I can hook a bigger battery up to it right there and get more amps. This is all the winch control I have. I mean, it only comes that far away from the UTV, so yeah, and it's not waterproof. The battery upgrade I did, I put the biggest garden tractor battery I could fit in there. It's enclosed in a box. I put a positive bus bar on it, so I only have two wires on my battery, my positive and my negative. I want to hook other stuff up, I can go right there to that bus bar. I keep this thing on a battery tender. I plug it into the cigarette lighter right now. What I'm going to do is put this 12 volt hookup down with the terminals down there, run it straight to the battery, so it's not going through anything else and it'll be on a fuse. You can see the back side of it here. Back here, here's the broken axle, the left side. You see it snapped right at the splines going into the hub. That's the other end of it. Don't mind the mess, I've been working on some other projects. But you can see the splines just twisted right off of it. And this is the second time this has happened. The first time was the right side axle. You can see very good. The new axle's there. It's all cleaned up for once. Got a new set of tires on it. Those are Sedona Ripsaws. Forget what size they were, but they do great off in the mud and the rocks. So I'll post more later when I get into the winch part. All right, quick note here. Seriously, there was 6 bolts holding that itty bitty winch on. Which, by the way, I found a sticker. It's a Chicago Electric, so it is a Harbor Freight brand too. 1,500 pounds. I'm pretty sure what that one was, but this is ridiculous. This is all the spacers and nuts and washers they had for 6 bolts. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do something, I understand if you got to cobble it together to get by, but go back and fix it later. Use the right nuts and bolts. Come on, folks. Product placement, Java Loco Moco, the favorite energy drink of Rodney Cordova. Here's a quick shot of the front with everything off. Probably hasn't seen the light of day. Here you can see, it's built for a winch to go right behind it. Hopefully that 3,500 pounder will fit right in there. Alright, as you can see, it's in there. And it is a tight fit. I have to do something about this. I don't know if the blue is positive or negative yet. I have to get in the book and look. But it's just about lined up with the factory holes. It's a nice, snug fit. I don't think you go any bigger than that. I have to remove the skid plate to get to the back 2 bolts. I can't see it. Okay, so now I've got my solenoid located on the passenger side. I can't really see it that well if I'm focusing, but it's attached to the glove box. The blue and yellow wires are routed. I was actually able to run the blue wire straight up and it's not making contact with the frame, so that's good. And digging through this thing, this UTV used to belong to my dad before he passed away, and he's always leaving me little surprises. Digging in the glove box, I found this ancient piece of beef jerky. It's Sasquatch Big Stick. And Dad passed away to be 2 years ago. Gross. That's old. 2 years ago this August. So yeah, that's been inside this cavernous hole you can't see in for quite a while. Alright, back in a little while. Alright, so the positive wire, let me back up over here, come out of the solenoid. Come out of the solenoid. I wrapped up my breaker box there with a piece of rubber and electrical tape. Positive, negative coming off. Run down. I cut a hole in my floor. Forgot my grommet for it, so I'll have to finish that later. But I run underneath the UTV, and the positive wire is not long enough to reach where I need to get to. So what I had was a piece of lawnmower battery terminal cable left over. So I bolted them together, wrapped it, put a little piece of rubber over it, and wrapped it with electrical tape, and I've zip tied it to the plastic kick panel here. And I've run it to my positive side of my jumper post, which goes directly to my positive bus bar by the battery, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Negative, believe it or not, I have more than enough. I'm just going to find a negative ground point and ground it to the frame, because the hoop on the end of it is not big enough to go over the terminal end on my jumper post. So that's where I'm at right now.